This episode of Total Drama Reviews contains clips from Total Drama Action. I do not own Total Drama Action. All rights go to FreshTV. Remember to be civil and do not be me in the comments. Seriously, it can get really messed up. Carpe diem, boils and ghouls. My name is Ultranatic, and welcome to another Halloween edition of Total Drama Reviews. This is where I, as a lover of animation and reality shows, look over the show and combine them together the best. And in this, the scariest month of the year, today's episode references the title of one of the films in the Alien franchise. One that was so bad we got an NC review out of it. Why was that the title we went with? Okay, in all fairness, that pun title does work for the premise of this episode. The challenge being evading a mysterious space monster while retrieving the eggs of said monster. You know, in hindsight, that pun title is only painful because of the movie it references. And heck, just because the movie referenced is bad doesn't mean the episode will be, but there's only one way to find out. So let's see if the screaming in space that can't be heard is of joy or terror. Of course you be back to drive me further into madness. This is Alien Resurr-eggtion. So we open in the craft services tent where breakfast is being served, consisting of, wow, we're really going for all the egg references possible, aren't we? What, will that stork from that one episode of Teen Titans Go make an appearance here as well?
Well, I wasn't expecting this. You see that? I'm the egg pun guy.
Yes, I'm seriously referencing Teen Titans Go. Do you have any sort of life? I'll be honest, that one kind of hurt. Well, finally, the references from the movies go beyond just eggs, as we do get an honest-to-God alien reference of sorts. And by that I mean, remember that time I referred to Gidget as the face-huggers of couples? Jeff and Bridget being the face-huggers of couples.
Keep the line moving, lovebirds.
I legit made that joke forgetting about this episode. What a happy coincidence.
You can have my burnt toast, Big Mouth.
Judging from that gut, I thought you'd be all over the extra carbs.
You can have my toast, Gwen.
Thanks, but I can't take enemy toast.
Enemies? We're not enemies.
In this game, we're all enemies.
Except for me and Gwen. I'll always have her back, no matter what.
Right back at you, babe.
Ooh, speed round again. Everything in this scene that makes no sense.
You can have my toast, Gwen.
Thanks, but I can't take enemy toast.
We're not enemies.
In this game, we're all enemies.
Is that why Gwen rejected your burnt toast, Duncan? Without bringing up the analogy of being enemies?
You can have my burnt toast, Big Mouth.
Judging from that gut, I thought you'd be all over the extra carbs.
Okay, that's not legit hypocrisy. This is legit hypocrisy.
We're all enemies.
Except for me and Gwen. I'll always have her back, no matter what.
Phobia factor.
I'll always have her back, no matter what.
Right back at you, babe.
Oh, the circumstances of that promise are gonna change drastically, mark my words. I guess I just did there. Speaking of things changing drastically, take a look at Owen's diet after the events of Monster Cash.
No eggs and bacon for me, Chef. I'll just have this nice bowl of prunes. My, plumbing's been clogged ever since I ate all those fake food props. Pressure buildup's killing me.
Yep, Owen's jokes are still gonna be food and gas-based, but with a little bit of a twist on them.
Come on, Colin. Don't fail me now. Oh, I hear bells.
Not that this type of humor isn't cliche too, but at least it's something different to his humor. I'll take what I can get.
Welcome to day 2 of Total Drama Action. Today's movie genre, aliens.
Did you mean sci-fi, Chris? Because any type of alien movie is essentially a subgenre of that. That's like a Western challenge being announced and your point of reference being Back to the Future Part 3. Not technically wrong, but not officially right either.
Today's challenge? Find an alien egg and return to home base before Mama Alien finds you. The 2 fastest get to pick the teams this season.
There's also the unannounced reward of immunity with that, but I guess that goes without saying. But for a primarily reward-based challenge, that's a pretty good way of incorporating into the story.
No one knows alien movies the way I do.
I'm gonna blend up those no-good aliens and have them for breakfast.
Dude, Alien Chunks is my favorite alien movie of all time.
Me too. I've seen it 27 times.
53.
What losers watch movies either 27 or 53 times? It was rhetorical.
I love the scene in Alien Chunks where they turn the aliens into fruity blended drinks. I even have the necklace.
Again, this Gwen is way better than last season. The passion she has for over-the-top gore-fest films is really infectious, as opposed to how out of his depth Trent proves himself to be.
I like that movie where the aliens take over the government.
Take me to your leader.
Oh hey, I saw Escape from Planet Earth. No, not really, but I heard that movie is so generic that could literally be the plot of it. just from hearsay, grow up!
It was a good movie, right, Gwen?
Okay, this is kind of awkward.
So after Gwen rejects that desperate, completely out of character plea from Trent, it's revealed that the alien monster for the challenge will be Chef in a costume covered in Nickelodeon slime.
I hate my life.
So all the contestants go in a group to find the alien eggs.
Hey, follow me! I know aliens. I've been abducted loads of times. There's a tracking device in my neck, see?
Does it hurt?
Only when I hiccup. Yeah. Ow.
How is E-Scope one of those characters who gives the answers to questions about her I haven't even considered asking yet? I don't think I'm ever gonna get a full grasp on her. She's like Onion from Steven Universe. It is one of my favorite shows. I'll like what I want to, thank you very much.
Ooh, it's like there's something in there cold as ice with no soul.
TMZ. No, someone in universe, Chris McClane.
Thanks. Now take that.
I'm impressed DJ didn't scream like a little girl at the sensation of that. And yes, I will make fun of him for that. He gets progressively more babyish as the show goes on.
Ah, yes. First one. Smell it.
Is it some kind of sick fetish to Owen to torment people with his gas bomb force? That young adult needs help from more than a gastroenterologist. So rather than take action immediately, we get over a minute of the characters just staying around wondering what to do.
Who wants to go first?
Please, after you.
After you, I insist.
Don't worry, Izzy.
Even the ones more enthusiastic towards the subgenre of movies just waste time staying in one spot.
It must be Chef. You want to run, or you want to kick some alien butt?
Let's kick some alien butt.
Oh, Jesus! Do something! I mean, how far along are we again? Do something!
Trent, any thoughts?
Yeah, let's kick some alien butt.
Are we sure that desperate plea at breakfast for Trent was out of character for him? But after a long-ass bit of filler, Beth bravely comes forward to face this potential showmance.
It's just Bridget and Jeff.
What, did those two just get a massive head start and you didn't even notice? Also, don't these two know that the kissing couple always gets picked off first in these scenarios? Hell, Jeff was in Hook, Lion, Screamer. He should know this rule.
By far, the worst blunder yet.
Good thing we're all lined up in a row, huh?
Ready for Chef to pick us off one at a time.
We've really got to work on our strategizing.
You think? Did the whole every time you could have gotten rid of Heather last season thing not tip you off on that? Then again, Heather had almost every opportunity to get rid of you as well, Gwen, so I guess the idiocy evens out. And speaking of idiocy, of sorts.
Let's get out of here.
Which way do we go?
North is nice, but east is least. West is fast. Can't argue with that. Wouldn't even know how to.
Ooh, I am keeping that clip. It's sure to come to play a lot throughout this season. With that said, Lindsay, why leave out the South? Who doesn't like the South? Don't make me use this. So the group's all split up because, yeah, that's a great idea doing horror movies. Ask Beast Boy. Again, Gwen and Duncan are ignoring this obvious rule that they established in Hook, Lion, Screamer. You're calling me a nitpicker? You'd be right. What was my argument again? So after Lindsay, Beth, Justin, and LaShawn split up as a group, so do Gwen, Trent, DJ, and Duncan.
Where do you think you're going?
With you.
Sorry, but the lovebirds are on their own. In any alien flick, the kissing couple's always the first to go.
Okay, I know I just said the kissing couple gets picked off first in horror movies, so that reasoning should make sense for Duncan, but remind me again, what's the other most common first victim in horror movies?
The black guy always dies. Think about it, man. Unforgiven, Alien, Rocky IV, The Shining.
Star Trek 2, Forrest Gump, Witness.
I'm telling you, man, the black guy always dies first.
Yeah, so despite me appreciating the racial inclusion there, Duncan, why are you keeping DJ by you then? Horror movie expert? Ironically, Chef doesn't go after either trope first and instead goes after the misfits. An interesting twist, considering that's usually the heroes of these stories. But yeah, this is the group that split up last, consisting of Harold, Owen, E-Scope, and hilariously enough, Heather.
If we don't band together, we are gonna lose this challenge. Now, who is with me?
Does being with you imply some sort of an alliance?
Because we don't like you. Okay, forget being with me. Who's willing to walk beside me in mutual pursuit of our goals with no commitment of any kind?
I can agree to that.
Wow, despite Heather not being the major antagonist of this season, her new demoted role as the redhead stepchild has proven to be a pretty solid character type for her here too.
say hello to eternity.
I think you meant say hello to my little friend, but hey, let's not miss genres this early. So Harold gets tagged first, followed by Owen at his request.
It's time! Take me out! I beg you! Oh, thank you! Oh, thank you! Make way! Coming through!
Hey, they recreated that scene from the first season's intro. Good times. And speaking of recreating scenes, guess who decides to have a tete-a-tete with Chef again?
One of us isn't getting out of here clean.
Again, does E-Scope not care about winning at all, as instead in the game just for the adrenaline rush? That makes way too much sense. Look at her! Even this kind of time she's faced off against Chef, she's been in Glee and cliff diving, created her own explosion which got her in trouble with the RCMP, being on the run from them, let herself get electrocuted twice, bit by a venomous snake 3 times, create a dangerous bike ride for herself and Lashana, challenged death by breaking horror movie rules by luring Owen into the woods alone for a makeout session, and even took great pleasure hunting.
Banzai!
She lives for the thought of her blood pressure rising. If you discount the whole fear of flying in planes theme, but for all I know, her fear has changed now to eating a salad in a library, to calm and serene.
You call that a paintball gun? This is a paintball gun.
Fun! I love this game!
So apparently E-Scope can pull stuff out of thin air the way Pinkie Pie can pull stuff out of her mane. Oh, or the way Steven Universe can pull stuff out of Lion's mane. Oh my stars and gars, I just noticed that connection! Yes, and with that said, why must you question my love for shows that do nothing but spread love and positivity to the world? I warned you not to make me use this. Now back to the real fight, packed with Matrix references, nothing new, shit-talking between Chef and E-Scope.
If I can handle hand-to-paw combat with a polar bear, I can handle a bald, emotionally withdrawn cook in a Halloween costume.
Who you calling a cook?
Vinny, 60 minutes without any appetizers.
I didn't know what you wanted. You didn't want to show me. So what did you want me to do?
You two-faced, lazy little...
Lazy.
And even a fake-out death scene with E-Scope.
Not again.
Wait a minute, did he just say not again?
Not again.
I know Chef has military experience, but have there been other times where he got in a massive shootout with a crazy girl dressed in a sexy Poison Ivy costume who ended up being a casualty in the fight? Makes as much sense as this exchange.
I thought you were dead.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Gee, I wonder where from. We then see Gidget get picked off and Heather gets targeted next.
This is for last season when you put laxatives in my brownie.
People hold grudges for the tiniest things in this show. Heather held one for Beth just for saying no to her. Eva held one for Bridget for reasons that barely applied to her. Duncan held one for Jeff for not voting out Bridget.
You made a big mistake a few weeks ago, and I have a long memory.
I think that one's still up in the air. And even then, Gwen also held one for Jeff for...
The guy is in a permanently good mood. No one is always in a good mood. And if he says dude or cool or eats with his mouth open one more time, I think I'm gonna seriously damage him.
Acting exactly like Owen minus the flatulence. And now Chef has one against Heather for putting laxative in his brownies.
This is for last season when you put laxatives in my brownie.
We again have no video evidence of this, but I assume he meant that cupcake he was going to give Gwen back in the last episode, really? But again, her karma was exacted then. You don't have to take vengeance out on her now. I guess she'll get it anyways as she loses her wig and will not have to go through the majority of the season with no cover. No! Making this entire subplot entirely pointless.
How did we get here?
If we knew, we wouldn't be lost.
And we've walked into a trap.
Ooh, feels so good.
Looks even better.
You know what? Models are people too. They've got feelings just like the rest of us.
Meanwhile, Gwen's group, having found the boiler room, retrieved the eggs, only for Chef to catch up and tag DJ, but as if he was the only obstacle for them.
Attention, civilians! The military is here to protect you now. Unfortunately, we can't let you leave with any alien eggs.
Chris, I appreciate you wanting to increase range with this ridiculous stunt, but the challenge isn't over yet. Let the winner be determined first, and then slime them.
We do this in order, or we don't do it at all.
Incoming!
Well, ironically, that does determine the winners as Gwen evaded the bombs by hiding behind barrels. Which reminds me way too much of the Chinese army surviving an avalanche because of one rock in Mulan. Unless it's this rock, in which case, yeah, you can survive anything if you hide behind him. He's probably bulletproof. Not that you should test that.
Does this mean I'm out?
Too bad, so sad. More money for me.
Ooh, down for the count.
Duncan is always acting like such a tough guy. Oh, you're so tough, bud. I love seeing Gwen stick it to Duncan. She's so awesome.
You know, I just realized the jealousy plotline isn't automatically bad. It just seems that way because it's such an overdone storyline. But here, it surprisingly gives a lot of character for Trent, showing he's not just cool with how Gwen acts. He actually respects her for the way she talks to Duncan, which is admittedly dense since there's obvious sparks between those two, but we'll focus on that later.
Oh no, our alien eggs.
I'm on it.
No, I'm on it.
My necklace, it's gone.
This is some rather awkward and forced tension. In fact, why is the challenge still going on? Gwen and Trent are the last two standing. What did Chris say about the reward?
Today's challenge, find an alien egg and return to home base before Mama Alien finds you. The two fastest get to pick the teams this season.
So, boom, even if they're not back at home base yet, it's still pretty obvious that Gwen and Trent are the winners, so why are we still here? Oh, right, to give a Spider-Man style dilemma for Trent.
You must let go of one to save the life of the other. As you can see, the choice is not so clear when you are face to face with the people whose blood will stain your hands.
Gotcha.
I know this is gonna sound really girly, but I was seriously touched when Trent chose my necklace over the egg.
Oh, sorry about losing the egg.
Thanks for saving my necklace. I want you to have it, for luck. Suits you.
Dang it! Dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it! I thought I got rid of you. Only in heaven, but why are you back? Oh, good question. Nothing at all. Yeah, this is actually really sweet. These two are from a cliched, inexplicably boring showmance that unfortunately took up a majority of the focus last season, to somehow actually being an interesting, even likable couple. Gwen's more dominant, but she does have distractions. And Trent's much softer, but he still wants to show he'll always be there for Gwen. That's a really good showmance. Because I was so used to them being my punching bags in reviews. Okay, let's. After Duncan insults Trent for getting the necklace, says the guy with several piercings on his face, Chris comes down to congratulate Gwen.
You three gave it a valiant effort.
Chris, you weren't even 100 feet in the air, and there's probably plenty of space to land that helicopter, so why did you use a parachute? You are being inexplicably nice to me, and I'm not surprised. They do get the eggs back to the trailers and immediately realize one small caveat in them being joint winners.
As our winners, Gwen and Trent will now be able to pick their teams, which means they'll be competing against each other this season.
Oh, dude, no!
I don't want to straight retire my Math is the Devil folder, but I could if I wanted to, considering I now have the perfect clip for situations like this.
Yeah, we've really got to work on our math.
But because two win the challenge, now two must go home.
Yes, you heard me. I said two. I'm liking the twos today. Must be Tuesday.
That is one of the worst jokes I've ever heard in my entire life. I'm sorry, it's such a beautiful failure comedy that I have to chuckle its naivete. So the award ceremony starts with presumably Heather being one of the people to be eliminated.
Next is DJ. Surprisingly, Heather.
Wow, these people really haven't learned their lesson from last season, have they? That would be a smart strategy, except you're asking me to consider that after this joke.
I'm liking the twos today. Must be Tuesday.
Again, cute bit of horribleness, but I don't think that good strategy and terrible comedy mix very well. No, instead, Showman's Gidget gets voted out. Why? Well, maybe because one dynamic duo was saved, so taking out a different dynamic duo will even the score for all the other players.
I know exactly who's gonna get it this week.
Really? That's it? Paper's less flimsy than that reasoning. But they leave happy, still having their mouths conjoined probably with Velcro, and they live happily ever after. Or as happily ever after as you can get being voted out first, but whatever. And that was Alien Resurr-eggtion. It's a little better than last episode. Honestly, it's mostly at the end where things start to fall apart, but not terribly. Gidget were by far the least interesting people in the cast, so I think them being first boo is probably the best choice. And with that and the grown jokes taken out of the way, the majority of the comedy is still pretty solid. The characters are still their cartoonishly hilarious selves, and some even progress forward in development. Only time will tell if this is for the better or for the worse, but I think we can all agree that this episode is monstrously better than the film its title references. Well, that was fun, but now to ask, how does the next episode of TDA tie into Halloween? Not even a little? Crud. What to do then? I want to do another top 10 list, but I don't have one quite ready yet. Maybe I should look at a previous one I did for inspiration for my next video. What was my first ever top 10 list I made for Halloween? Ah yes, the top 10 Halloween TV theme songs. Ah, good times. I love giving line some of the well-deserved spooky TV theme songs, like the atmospheric Gravity Falls, the underrated Creep School, and the perfectly rated Danny Phantom. But what was number 1 on that list again? Oh yeah, that Danny Elfman hokiness right there is still one of my all-time favorite theme songs. That gives me an idea. I normally review animated properties, but I want to make an exception just for Halloween, because similar to how the Nostalgia Critic reviews a Stephen King movie every Halloween, I want to review some from a dark and corny property that I love every Halloween. So, tune in next time for my first ever glimpse at Goosebumps.